Hello, my scrappy friends, and a big welcome to my YouTube channel again today. Today I'm participating in this September school YouTube hop. There are 40 of us participating in this. You should have come from Crystal's channel. If not, I'll make sure I leave everything linked in the description box below. And after me is Janet, so I will have links to everyone. So there's 4 days. I'm on day 1, and so from today until Sunday, there are 10 people on each day. I will have the 10 people from today linked in the description box below. And there goes my washing machine. I'm sorry. So we have been very lucky here. I am in Perth, Western Australia, if you didn't know, and we are, I'm going to say, in an enviable position. We are almost back to whatever normal will be. My kids missed out. They were home for about, I think 6 weeks all up, and 2 of those weeks were school holidays. So yeah, we are very, very lucky here, and that is what my journaling essentially says on this layout. I'm using a cut file from Katu, and I am pairing that with the Truly Grateful collection from Paige Evans. As I was flipping through my collections, I saw this one, and I saw it's funny, I saw the name of it and went, you know what? With the kind of the story I want to tell on this page, this is kind of an appropriate collection to use. I'm using this paper, I think it was paper 13 for my background. It's got the blue with the blue stars. And as you can see, I'm adding some white splatters. I showed you before as well, I've used the 6x8 paper pad with that pinky colour with the florals and the stars. It's got gold stars on it. And I have already cut all of my letters on my Cameo. And they are on my mat ready to go. I'm adding some splatters of gold as well. This is from Shimmers. It is Minor 49er. And as you can see, I'm just adding splatters across that background. So I'm going to start here. I did some cutting with the knife tool in my Cameo software. And I have cut the word happy again as well. And I'm going to layer that over the top. I'm just checking that I don't have any weird cuts on there. And I'm going to layer that over the top of the happy on the white cut file. But what I'm doing here is just checking the blue ink that I think I'm going to use. I'm going to ink around the edge of the word happy with a sponge, with a ink blending tool, and this ink. It is a little bit fiddly, but it just kind of brings the blue up to the top of the page and gives a little bit of separation between all the letters that are cut in this particular pattern. That's the word I'm looking for. So I don't keep all this in. It did take me a little while because there are lots of little nooks and crannies and little bits. But you can see I've just inked all the way around that. I'm going to pop this up on some foam. And again, I don't make you watch all of this because it is not exciting stuff. But yeah, I'm going to pop that up. And then I think from there I stick it onto my cut file. But yeah, so this page, like I said, is talking about how lucky we have been here in Perth. With our hard borders, it has meant that there has been little to no community spread since COVID first broke out. And yes, like I said, I'm incredibly grateful. I kind of feel guilty even saying that much, but it's where we're at the moment. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. As you can see, I very carefully started to glue that down. I just started with one letter, make sure I lined that up how I wanted it, and then I've slowly gone around and done all of the rest of the letters. Just showing you that stuck down, the little bit of dimension that's on there. This is actually the professional photo that I had done through school this year of both of the boys. I was only going to get one last year because it was the first year that they were in the same school. But when I said something to my husband about not getting it this year, both of my kids went, "But Mum, we want to." Okay. So we got the professional photos again this year. So I'm using some more of that same pattern paper that I used for my letters to back my, that's not my cut file, to back my photo. I'm just adding a little bit of adhesive because I know that I'm going to go around it with my sewing machine. The white thread I was going to use, I didn't end up using because I ran out. And I've shown you there as well that I have also added foam behind all of those letters. The inside, that white cardstock, is actually where I cut the cut file from. And then I also cut the white border for my photo from the same piece of cardstock. And so I'm just going to use the leftovers of that for a border around my whole layout. I just felt like with the white cut file, which I cut on smooth white cardstock, it was a good way of like tying it all together. Done my stitching here. I had dramas with my sewing machine. Gold thread all the way around. I've also gone around my photo. I'm going to stick my cut file and my photo down. So you can see here, I'm just trying to get my placement right. I did play with this a little bit in my Silhouette software to work out placement. And I'm guessing you guys have worked it out already. I'm going to pop up each of those letters from the cut file, but I'm just trying to work out how I want that S to sit. I don't want to cover up too much of the photo. So yeah, I just play with that for a minute before I decide what I'm doing, and then I'm going to use my T-square ruler. So my T-square ruler comes out a number of times in this layout, which is very unusual for me. Just making sure that's in the middle. And I'm going to start with the word this, I think, with the T and the H. I'm just going to add a bit of adhesive behind those two letters and smush it down, let that dry, and then move on to the rest of the letters. And I do this, it takes me a good at least 5 minutes or so to stick this down, just to make sure that it is straight, and I get it all stuck down. So it's all stuck down now. I believe my photo's stuck down as well, so I'm just showing you that. And I'm going to go in and start sticking these letters down. Now I have no nails. I trimmed them all because you could tell that I'd had the gel polish on for 5 or 6 weeks or whatever it was. So I have trimmed them down, and I've actually had to pull out my tweezers, which I end up going, you know, I've had enough of you as well. Use my fingers. I'm just going to show you a couple of letters here. Just pulling that backing off and putting it back in like a puzzle. A lot of this, my head does get in the way as well. It's another reason why I didn't leave it all in. And then that S, the S for calls, I do put 2 pop dots on the left hand side so that it sits flush. But you can see here I have started embellishing. I have got all of my, I'm just showing you here. So in the die cut pack, I got 2 of that one die cut, which I thought was pretty cool. And I have fussy cut around them. Fussy cut around the flower on the pumpkin at the front. And then I have cut the other one in half and slid that in behind. And then I have used that butterfly from the sticker sheet, trimmed the white border off, stuck that down the bottom, and used the word grateful underneath my journaling, which says, we're also very grateful that even though 2020 has been anything but expected, the boys have been more at school than not at school. 2020 school photos were socially distanced, however, they still happened. So that's what my journaling is. And I, instead of, you know, just school photos 2020, I thought a bit of a story could be interesting. And, you know, that's why I chose these particular photos to scrapbook for this particular YouTube hop as well. So as you can see, the embellishments I had picked, I have now pulled off, and I'm moving things around. But I end up moving that yellow butterfly back down there, and I decide I've got the yellow pumpkin in the middle, the yellow butterfly on the bottom right, so that's why the yellow flower comes up to the top left. And then I've got that purple, yes, it's purple, pumpkin up to the top as well, and a green leaf. And then I've got those colours kind of flowing all the way down the page as well. What else have I added? just that word grateful, and then I'm going to add in this word lovely as well. I just wanted a bit more green down here. Sorry, my head's in the way again. So I'm just going to add that in here. I don't actually think that anything is properly stuck down yet except for the photo and my title. And I don't think I leave in my sticking either. So I'm looking at these, I'm going, I want to bring that text element back up to the top, but what color, what color, what color? And then I went, oh, look, there's a word. It says now. So you could read that as part of the title. You can read that as just an extra word up there. Now this calls for a happy dance or not, whatever, really. It doesn't really matter. But I like that I've got that continuation of that font from the top left down to the bottom right. I stuck everything down now, and I'm just coming in with a couple of last embellishments. I've got one of these wooden buttons here. It's got that darker red maroon colour with some lighter pink hearts and stars. Then I'm going to bring another one up to the top. It goes on, it comes off, and then I end up leaving it on there. I take off the foam on the back, and it fits beautifully in that little gap there, so I'm going to stick that down. It's a little sunshine, so it's got an orange outside and then the yellow sunshine in the middle, and I've got that orange up there. I have stuck down the pumpkin in the middle, and I've got the modelling paste on there because I had a real hard time getting it to stick. I've used my Scotch tacky glue to stick everything down, and I'm just like lifting up the edges just for a bit of extra dimension. And I'm coming in with a few final embellishments here. So I've got the 6x12 sticker sheet, and I'm pulling off, I think there's, actually I end up with 4, oh, excuse me, I've got a tickle in my throat. 4 of these matte gold hearts. They're kind of actually more like a rose gold, coppery, whatever that colour is. So they go on that diagonal from the top left to the bottom right. I've got 2 stars that I bring in as well. And then whatever I add to one cluster, I add to the other 2. I've got this dark blue is the next one. So I added 2 circles, one to the top, one to the bottom, and then this heart to the middle here. Again, I just wanted to bring that blue from the background up to the top of the page. I've got these little orangey coloured, the epoxy puffy, I'm not sure, stickers, little circles, and then the green as well. So I'm going to pop one green one in. I move it up to behind the little stem on the pumpkin actually. So there that one goes. And then I put this other green one up in the same place behind the other pumpkin. And then I move the little heart, pop the green one there, and then move the heart over a little bit. And I'm calling that done. So make sure you pop on over. Next we have got Janet, but like I said, 4 days, 40 people, 40 people. Sarah, thank you so much for inviting me along to play. This is like, I think, the first YouTube hop that I've been invited to play along on, besides playing along with your sketches. So thank you so much for having me play. This was super fun. And I really like that I have a not that typical, oh look, here are our school photos story to tell. All of the links to everything will be in the description box below. I'll even link Cut to You so that you can go and pick up that cut file if you like it. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. Excuse this tickle in my throat, but yes, thank you so much for stopping by and have a fantastic day.